Thriving. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the show, and it is show number 203. Welcome to the program. Proud member of the Education Podcast Network, as well as Voice Ed Radio Canada, and certainly live here on Facebook or wherever you are consuming your podcasts. You can find these on iTunes as well. So excited for show number 203. Before we meet our special guest today, I do want to thank today's sponsor, Hallies Cookies. And both of our guests today are going to get a packet of Hallies cookies. And there's your discount code, Murata15. Great local company, so many different variations. And that's right, it's a half a cookie. And if you've seen them before, they are well worth it. Vacuum sealed, and they are shipped directly to you. David Maffei and his company have these cookies. So check them out. They are a proud sponsor of Education Leadership Beyond. Discount code Murata15. If you are watching the show live, certainly jump in, leave us a question or comment for our guests. We are going to meet today Hallie Balogh and Autumn VanHorn, local teenage authors. That's right, teenagers who did something amazing. They wrote a book together, and I want to make sure I get this right. Empire to Earth and Back. Right, girls? Yeah. They wrote a book. It just got released on Saturday. There's the information below, and super excited to talk to them about their journey and how they did it, and super proud of them and proud to have them on the show. So the opening concept is about creating content, right? We as educational leaders, we as educators, professionals, right? Some people do the same thing over and over and over, and other people continue to create content. Well, I recently had a powerful kind of experience. I watched a documentary about the guy who created the Nikes each year for Air Jordans, right? He created the Air Jordans. And it was about his process of creating something new for Nike as well as for Michael Jordan, and that process of creating content. And as someone who has a podcast and a blog and writing books myself, I'm very interested in that. And I'm interested in it. I think it's important that we continue to reinvent ourselves and do some different things. So think about how best you can get in a space where you're thinking about content, where you're thinking about some different things. And I'm not only going to ask the girls about their way of creating content, how are they going to continue this journey to Earth and Back, talking about Empire. So enough of me talking. Let's bring the girls to the program here on Education Leadership Beyond. Hallie and Autumn, welcome to the program.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Hallie, why don't you introduce yourself, and then Autumn, you can go and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Hallie Balogh. I am the co-author of Empire to Earth and Back. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Autumn VanHorn. I'm 16, and I am also the co-author and co-owner of Hot Stories and
Empire.
The book Empire to Earth and Back.
Well, congratulations, girls. It's an honor to have you on the program. And I am so curious to get started here. Where did this idea come from, the Empire to Earth and Back?
Okay, so when we were sitting in my backyard on the grass 6 feet apart during COVID, we were like, hey, why don't we write a book? Because in 5th grade, we wrote a lot of stories together, and we're just like, okay, we have nothing to do right now. Let's write a book. Here we are. Yeah.
And it was just like that, just a simple, hey, let's write a book?
It was so easy.
It actually started as a joke.
It was actually a joke at the beginning.
So Autumn, tell us, like, without giving away the whole book, like, what is the story about? I was able to read some of it from the draft you sent Matthew, but tell me a little bit about Empire to Earth and Back.
Well, so it's about these group of kids who unfortunately end up on Earth by a mistake, and the FBI is hunting them down, and they're trying to get back home with a lot of other unfortunate events that happen. Our blurb is in our website, hotsstoriesofficial.com. Find everything there.
Cool. And we're going to get to that, certainly, girls, afterwards, or we can put it in the chat. If you are watching live or on recording, certainly jump in the chat. And girls, I would encourage you to put any of the links in there that you can. So how did you do it? Right, you're working collaboratively. You each have ideas. Like, did it come up during writing the book that, Hallie, you wanted the story to go in one direction, and Autumn, you wanted it to go somewhere else, and how did you arm wrestle that out?
I'm surprised we didn't literally arm wrestle.
Yeah. Basically, we just kind of merged both of our ideas, wrote off of each other. We had to be flexible.
One person wasn't in control of the story at one point. It wasn't like we each wrote a chapter. We each wrote chapters together. And we were bad. And when you're writing a story, you're supposed to outline it first. And we kind of had the beginning, the end, and some specific things we wanted in the middle, but like not like an actual outline. So we had to like fight out some things like midway through the story, but we got through it.
Everything was
And were you on like a Google Meet and you're writing it live, or did you write separately, Hallie, and Autumn you wrote, and then was it one document? How did you do it?
Honestly, it was a little bit of everything. We stayed up till horrendous hours of the night, just writing. We'd be in the chat on Google Docs. We'd be on FaceTime while we're writing. We would both write a section. When one couldn't do anymore, the other one would go, and then the other one would go and edit the one that the other person did. It was a lot of it was back both of us together.
Yeah.
Great. And you're certainly displaying that it's not a perfect recipe, right? It's you're artists and you're creating, and so you heard my little thing about creating content.
Mm-hmm.
How did you kind of create this story in your mind? Autumn, why don't you take that one?
Honestly, it just, once we got a story basis down, we just kept throwing things at each other, and we're like, oh, this is good, and we wrote everything down in a tiny book, and we just turned it into a story.
Wow. Hallie, what was some hurdles you faced?
Collaboration, like scheduling was hard to like get our times at the same time. But another thing was actually like agreeing on stuff sometimes, because we fought a lot. We get along really well, but we also fight a lot. So we had to argue some things out, but that was pretty much it. Anything to add? Or any other issues?
Writer's block.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
But bouncing off each other really helped with that.
Yes.
So.
Did you like keep a notepad next to your bed, and like when you would wake up, you're like, oh, I want to do this, and like kind of write some ideas down right when it was on the tip of your, in your mind there?
We actually have like
I have a whole, like, this is my writing book.
We have a little book, then we have a brainstorming doc that has like 50 pages in it.
It's longer than the actual book.
Everything. It's crazy.
Wow. So did you speak to your English classes about this? Do your English teachers at your schools know that you did this?
Mine doesn't. Like, a lot of my teachers today just realized that I wrote a book because they saw the tweet by the school. So you're like, oh wow, congratulations, you're a published author. My English teacher, I don't know if she saw it or anything. She seemed very busy today, but I never told her. So
my English teacher was actually a beta reader.
Oh, so tell me, what did your English teacher say to you, Autumn?
Basically, she really liked it, and she said our grammar was very well put together.
Well, certainly people will point that out if it's not, but that's awesome. So the book was released on Saturday, and again, the website is below, but you can also order it on Amazon. Is that correct, girls?
Yes. So you can go onto Amazon, just type in either of our names, Hallie Balogh or Autumn VanHorn. You could type in the name of the book, Empire to Earth and Back, and you'll find it, or you can go onto our website, and we have a direct link that says buy now that you just click, and it sends you right to the page. So there's that too.
So, Hallie, tell me, how did you feel like when you turned the computer on and you saw it on Amazon? Like, wow, there's my book. Like, how did you feel?
So Autumn actually told me, so it wasn't supposed to publish, so it published a little early. That was our problem. On April 13th, it actually kind of went live, and it wasn't supposed to because Amazon said it takes up to 72 hours to publish. So we kind of like never told anybody until the 16th because we were doing a countdown. So we put down the countdown, and but Autumn was the one who sent me, oh, like, it's on Amazon. So
the night before, my mom found it.
So we checked, and I was like, oh my god. It didn't really hit me right then, but I was like, oh wow, I'm a published author.
Autumn, when people read it, right, they write reviews or they talk about it. What is something that you hope they say about the book?
Honestly, I just hope they want more because we have a line of stories that for this whole entire book.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Lot.
So this isn't a one-hit wonder. You have more plans?
No, we have the last book mentally written. We have the third book mentally written. We don't have a name for the second book, but we have that one mentally written.
It's going to be at least 7 books.
Yeah.
Wow, Harry Potter, watch out! So Autumn, tell me again. What is the next step? What is the next process for you?
Right now, actually, within this weekend, we are going to start writing book 2. We want to be published authors and be successful authors.
Wow. Well, you're authors there and you're on your way to being successful. The fact that you wrote a book makes you successful, whether one person buys it or not, but extremely proud of you. So what will that journey look like? Will it look a little different the second time through now?
I think we have everything a bit more planned this time, and especially with formatting the book in general, it's a very steep learning curve trying to get a book formatted and ready for Kindle Direct Publishing. So we've got that down pat. We figured out we're even better at collaborating with each other now than we were before we started. And we have the same vision. We have the characters. We know what the characters look like in our heads together. We agree on that now. We have everything planned out. So I think we're good now. It'll be less difficult this time.
Hallie, you picked some interesting names of some of your characters in the book. Tell me some of the names, and they're not. It wasn't Joe and Sarah, right? They had some different names. Tell me about the selections of the names of your characters.
So since 5th grade, since we started writing with each other, we've always loved crazy, different names. Not crazy names, but names that aren't really popular or aren't used a lot. Because we think it makes our characters stand out that much more. So we have Delphi Eve, which I love. I've always loved that name. It's not one of the most, not one of our least popular names, but that one I liked. Do you have a name that you?
Mika McBella. I've always loved that name, and we threw it in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of names. We both love the name Asher, and I've loved the name Quinn for a while. We have August, which we think embodies one of our characters very well.
Oh yeah.
And then Akiko.
Oh, Akiko. It means autumn in. Is it
Japanese?
In Japanese, we think. I'm not.
Okay.
Quote me on that, but
yeah. So
I had to use it.
Very cool, girls. I can sense an excited energy, a kind of a spirit here. You must feel really proud of yourselves. What'd your family and your closest friends tell you? Autumn, why don't you go first?
Well, some of my friends think it's funny, but doesn't matter. Most of my family members were shocked because they didn't expect this, because it kind of came out of nowhere. My mom, she expected this because she always knew I always wrote. I hated reading, and I would write my own books because I didn't find anything I liked. So she knew this was coming.
Awesome. Hallie?
For me, well, actually, after that day that we came up with it, I told my mom, she's like, oh, great, have fun. And then only when it started okay, we're going to publish this, it started getting real for everybody, and we got really excited. My friends, I am not good at telling people about stuff I do, so they didn't know until a lot later. My one friend, I told her at lunch, and I was looking at my website to see how many people have seen our website. And I turned it around and I'm like, oh, this is my website. And she's like, oh, cool. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I wrote a book. And she's like, wait, that was your website? And she started freaking out. She's like, okay, by the end of the day, everybody in this whole school is going to know you're writing a book. It was crazy. So that was the general reaction.
That's awesome. And again, that website is on the bottom of the screen there, hastoriesofficial.com. And you can find the book there. You can find different excerpts. We're going to put the link to the show, etc. So, and again, if you're watching live, certainly jump in with a comment or a question. Girls, planning this out now, you look back at some of these major authors that wrote Harry Potter, these people that wrote these amazing stories, right? And they become these amazing series that everybody reads. Is this a goal of yours? Like, do you see yourselves becoming writers down the road and turning this into movies and that kind of stuff? Like, where do you see it going? Hallie, why don't we start with you?
Well, one of our beta readers actually said, wow, this kind of seems like a movie. And I got really excited when he said that. I'm like, wow, that'd be really cool. We've been talking about maybe that possibility because it's very far off right now.
Very far-fetched.
It's kind of far-fetched right now, but it's the general goal to become successful in this career. So.
Wow. So do you see yourself going to college for writing and marketing and that kind of stuff?
Not really college for writing because we've got the writing part kind of down pat at this point. I mean, we could always improve, but we can more improve, I feel like, through actually writing and working on that rather than paying a lot of money to like get more classes in it. If anything, I'd go to college for sustainable engineering or architecture because that was like my other idea for future stuff.
If I'm being honest, I hope this works out because I want to do this. I really don't want to go to college. We're polar opposites in that perspective with schooling, but all else fails, I have plan A, B, C, D, all the way to Z.
Yeah. And Autumn, some people, when they kind of know what they want to do, instead of, investing $50, $60, $70, $80, $90,000 in college, they say, well, I'm going to take that money and invest it in my business, invest it in my work, So, girls, how about, you mentioned in movies and the books, how about an artist? Do you have someone that maybe will draw out the characters for you? Is that something that's in the works?
Well, we have character art already. I don't know how good it is because I'm the one who did it because we are not exactly rich. We are very poor as teenagers. We don't have a lot of money. We are in debt to my parents about $300 just to try and publish this book. But yeah, so we're like, okay, let's just cut our losses and see how good we can get this. And I tried drawing these characters, and we may eventually down the road get a better character artist, but that's what we have so far. So
we are very creative people, and I do think that our artwork is not horrible, but we use German Creative at Fiverr.
Yeah.
She is our book cover artist. They're amazing. They worked with all of our needs, and it came out gorgeous.
Yeah.
Good. You got to be happy with the cover for sure. And girls, just like you, though, there are teenage artists out there that are just getting started. So maybe you can connect with somebody that doesn't cost big bucks yet, but they're looking to kind of get their name out there as well. So, maybe if someone is watching this, they can get this into the hands of some teen artists. And I know some teen artists here in Port Jervis, girls, that if you'd like to, we can help make that connection for you.
Of course, absolutely.
Right. Well, the name of the program, girls, is called Education, Leadership, and Beyond. So let's talk a little bit about education. We're coming out of the pandemic. You guys you're both sophomores in your sophomore year of high school, right? So tell me about what does school look like in 2022 through the eyes of sophomores?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Well, as a sophomore, like school obviously gets progressively harder, and I've always been a very stressed out person. So for me, it's kind of stressful, but I also think we've gotten a lot of support with the book from the school. Like we went to the vice principal like last week or 2 weeks ago, and we told him about the book, and he's like, wow, okay, great. I'll send you to the principal's office and let's see if we can get this promoted on our social medias. So they were very supportive, and there are a few classes that I really enjoy too. So it's
Yes.
Okay.
High school, very chaotic. Last year I was cyber. That did not work out well. I am an in-person learner 100%, but it is very chaotic, but I do love all of my teachers, and they're very supportive of me and willing to work with me.
Well, girls, you're kind of bucking the system a little bit, right? The generation above you always talks about these kids today, and here you are writing books. So, What would you say to that when people, speak poorly of teenagers, right? They're always on their phone. They're unmotivated. All they do is sleep. They want everything handed to them. What would you say to that? Because you're modeling certainly something different.
Okay.
Hallie, why don't you take that?
I would say that is accurate for some people in our grade, but not all of them, because obviously us and a lot of our friends, we tend to connect with people who actually are trying to do things with their lives and are figuring out things, and we aren't all always on our phones. I'm never on social media. I don't have any social media, but yeah, there's a lot of things that kids can do that I feel like a lot of people don't realize that, oh wow, they're trying to do that. Because there's a lot of kids who write stories. I know I have a few friends who are into writing, and they're not published yet because they're worried or they're not finished, but they're definitely on a track to do some great things.
Yeah. Cool. Autumn?
I feel just about everyone is pretty underestimated, and even with a lot of the stereotypical things that are going around about the younger generations, I feel like a lot of people just don't have the motivation that because they're being degraded.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's great to hear that your school embraced this and is helping promote it. Hallie, I know you're very involved in the community with your family. Autumn, I don't know your family as well, but we live in Milford, PA here in Northeast Pennsylvania. So I know there's some writing festivals and some different festivals coming up. So will you girls look to partake in some of those or look to get in that Readers and Writers Festival? Is that something that you want to do?
Yeah, I believe my mom sent them an email actually already about getting us into there.
Yeah.
Kind of been our manager with everything. We've been trying to do a lot ourselves, but she's been very, very helpful. And yeah, we really, anything to promote this book and get us out there is important and helpful for us. So definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Girls, did you want to give any shout outs to anybody? I'm sure, you mentioned your parents kind of helped you there, but was there anybody else you wanted to recognize?
Of course, my mom. Love that woman. My siblings, Mason and London, they've been very supportive along the way. Most of my family has been crazy supportive. My friend group in school, they all know who they are, so they've definitely made it a little less stressful with all of the giggles. And of course, I have to mention, my co-author, best friend, whatever you want to label her as. She's been pretty fantastic.
Cool. Hallie, how about you?
Definitely my mom and my dad and my grandma. Oh my God, she's been very supportive about that.
Love her.
She loves the characters and the character art. She's had some really interesting reactions to some things. My sister, Avery, and all of my friends, because they've been really excited to buy the book. They're like, oh my God, I'm going to get it for my birthday. Oh my God, I can't wait to read it. It's exciting. So yeah.
Cool. Have you signed any copies yet?
No, because we don't have paperback yet, but that should be coming out within the week. So we're going to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. And then once you make some money with the books you sell, you can do some more. Girls, we mentioned about the future and kind of college and writing and series. So it is 2022. Let's fast forward to April of 2027. Where is it that you see yourselves and how you're going to get there? Autumn, we'll start with you.
I want this series to be successful, and that's where I hope I am. Successful and happy in life.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope the same thing. I really want to be successful with this. I want to be a successful author and, person in general, because I don't want to be a bad person down the road. But I also see myself traveling more and seeing the world and getting more ideas from books from different places. And yeah.
Yeah, that is certainly, we talked about creating content, visiting different places. Emily Cole gives a shout out. Hello, Grandma Cole. Thanks for watching. Girls, Autumn, you mentioned writer's block, right?
Yeah.
The first time you wrote it, you were just happy to write the book, right? And you just wanted to have the book. Now you're going to write your second book and you want it to be better and you want to reach more audience and you want more. How do you write now? Like how, with writer's block or, are you more enthused now? Do you think it's going to be more challenging? What would you say to people that maybe are experiencing writer's block? And what advice would you offer there?
If I'm being honest,
We want you to be honest here on education leadership. Yeah.
well, I think I'm more excited for book 2 because book 2, I've thrown so many ideas at Hallie. She probably can't even handle them. It's going to be wild. And with writer's block, talking it out, watching a show, or getting outside, doing something, getting away from the story for a moment will give you ideas. It will help you just refresh. Even just talking it out with someone, you'll get ideas.
Brainstorming, definitely.
It's a difficult thing to work with, but for us, because we're a different case, we have 2 people. It kind of goes faster for us, but for others, you gotta
listen to music. That
turn it
helps
around.
too. Yeah.
Okay. Hallie, what would you say?
Music. I listen to a lot of music. We made character playlists.
Yep.
I have a whole separate playlist for like anything else that I feel like listening to. I have lots of music. And getting away from the story was good. We took walks sometimes just to like clear our heads and come up with new ideas, or like stop fighting with each other because that tended to be a problem sometimes. But yeah, that everything she said and music. So
yeah, the walking is a great idea. Even setting a timer. Right, and you go do some physical exercise, things like that. A writer once told me that he ends in the middle of a sentence.
I've heard that.
Not at the end of a chapter or something. He ends in the middle of a sentence. That way, when he goes back to write again, he can just pick it right back up. Yeah. Okay. Girls, we talked a little bit about your school. Well, the show is called Education Leadership. So what does leadership mean to you? Hallie, we'll put that to you.
Leadership, being supportive of people around you, because you can't be a leader without having people who want to look up to you and to follow you, and helping everyone else around you through things, and also setting a good example, doing something that might be out of your comfort zone, or doing something that you can't, like, that you're excited about and you're passionate about, but you've always been scared to do, like writing a book. Just kind of do it, and then people will like be like, okay, well, maybe I should do something like that, and that just makes you a leader. So
awesome answer, very good. Autumn.
Good job. I feel like being an inspiration or a good person in general, you can hold leadership very well. Just know what you want to do and stick to it. Basically, yeah, just basically that. And Hallie covered it really good. You stole some of my words.
And along those lines, you mentioned your principals and some other people. Who are some leaders in your life that you admire?
Hallie. I admire Hallie so much. We are polar opposites.
yeah,
It's crazy.
I admire you too.
That's so nice.
Opposites connect. Opposites attract, for sure.
Yeah, we're very, very,
All right.
very opposite.
Okay. Well, how about in your school? Are there teachers you admire? Is it the administrators? Is it an author out there? Is it a movie producer? Is it a singer? Who are some leaders that you admire?
There's like a whole ton of people. At school, I admire my guidance counselor, Miss Kiesling. I love her. She has helped me through absolutely so many things, and she was so excited for this book, and I absolutely adore her. She's amazing. For a public figure, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
What about an
That's a good
author
question.
you read a book by?
An author?
Do you not remember any author names?
I do know Colleen. I don't know her last name. Colleen Hoover. I think it's Colleen Hoover. I'm not sure, but I love her books. They're awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Your turn.
How?
Okay. Well, for school, I don't know. I like a lot of the teachers there. They're really supportive, again, like I said, of like learning and teaching us stuff. And I don't know. That's what it is for school, I think. The vice principal was really excited about our book too, so That's
Yeah.
for a public figure, I'd want to say, I don't know, literally every single author I've read. I've read J.K. Rowling, James Dashner, Rick Riordan, all of these different authors that I really, so they're all really inspirations, and I look up to those as leaders too.
Well, I would tell you girls talking to you, like, I'm inspired, right? And the people watching the show are inspired that these two teenagers from Milford, PA did this. So soon people will be talking about you as authors. So congratulations.
Thank you.
If you're watching the show live, again, please jump in with a question or a comment. Girls, I had a number of questions for you. Some of them were on the script, some of them weren't. Was there something that you wanted to talk about that I did not ask you about?
I don't know. Like, we talked about the book and leadership in school and leaders and family members. I don't really know what else we'd cover.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, hey, and that's okay. We have some other questions left there. And again, if you're listening on iTunes or you're watching, their website is listed below, Empire to Earth and Back, hastoriesofficial.com. And here's a comment from Julie Balogh. Very proud of both of you. Absolutely, Mom.
Love her.
And so are we. Girls, let's go to rapid fire. Okay, these are quick questions. These are the first answer that comes to your mind, and we'll alternate back and forth. How's that?
Sounds good.
Great, yeah.
You ready? Autumn, we'll start with you. What is the last book you read?
I read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover.
Last movie you saw, Hallie?
I saw Moon Knight last night. TV show, but yeah.
Favorite dish, Autumn?
Honestly, I do not have one.
No favorite food?
No, I'm not. Nope.
Okay. Hallie, you mentioned about traveling. Where's been your favorite place to travel so far?
I really liked when we went to Roatan when we went on a cruise. So Roatan, that was cool.
Hallie, favorite spot in Miramar Beach, Florida?
The beach. That was nice.
Wasn't the sand amazing?
Yes. So soft.
Yeah. Autumn, you mentioned your guidance counselor, but what's your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject right now, I believe it's parenting skills. That's my absolute favorite.
Cool.
With that class.
Hallie, there was a very public slap on TV with Chris Rock and Will Smith. What was your take on that?
I didn't know because I don't watch stuff like that. I really have no
opinion.
Not really interested in actors stuff sometimes.
Actors quarrel. Good answer. Yeah. Autumn, favorite stress reliever?
Definitely writing.
Hallie, a pet peeve of yours?
I don't know. I can't think of one right now. I have them, but I can't think of one right now.
All right. How many pairs of New Balance does your father own?
Oh, that's a good one. A lot.
20 or more?
I don't know. I can't count.
All right, girls. Each of you share 2 recent victories. Not the book, right? Obviously, the book is a huge victory, but I like to celebrate victories as a school leader. What are 2 recent victories for each of you? Autumn, you're first.
I have I'm starting another book. That is a victory. But one aside from Haas Stories, which is under my own name. I'd say that's a pretty big victory. And I got I guess this was a little while ago, but I got my driver's license a couple months ago. That's a victory.
Congratulations, Hallie.
I got into the Hobie leadership program for school, so I'm excited to go to Susquehanna College for that. That's one victory. And another one, hard to do anything that's not the book because that's all I've been thinking about lately. Let's see. I got my permit. Let's go with that.
Nice. Autumn, are you a night owl or a morning warrior?
I am 100% a night owl.
Hallie?
Both.
Okay. So I won't put a time on it, but on Saturday morning, I fill in the blank.
Happy and relieved that there's no school because I can write.
Autumn, best purchase under $50 that has had a great impact on your life.
Our book cover by German Creative.
What did it cost? How much did your book cover cost?
$30.
Nice. Hallie, favorite place in Milford, PA?
Sparkomatic, because that's where we would write. It's like a talk house and cafe, so that's cool.
Oh. Autumn, how about you?
Definitely Sparkomatic as well, because that's where a lot of big things happened.
Yeah.
One thing I love about DV is both of you.
I like hanging out with my friends and how supportive the teachers were of the book.
I'd say all the programs we have. We have so many great programs.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. And that's Delaware Valley Schools. If you're not from the area, that's what we call it, DV here in Northeast PA. Hallie, something about you that people do not know about.
I do archery. I actually have a big bruise on my arm right now, but yeah, I do archery, and that's how I got that. So, yeah.
Do you do the one at the bottom of the hill across from?
Yeah, I've been there once before, and I did it there, and I think I'm gonna go back again soon. But I do it in my backyard, so I have my own bow and arrow, and yeah.
Wow. Does your mom run back and forth, and you try to? Okay. Autumn, something about you that people don't know about.
I love motocross and riding dirt bikes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. Girls, we mentioned the website a couple times, but like, what if someone wanted to be in touch with you, if they wanted to order a bulk order of the book, if they wanted to get in touch with you, what would be the best way?
So we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and that's all linked onto the website. So you can just go in there. It's all linked there. Yeah, that's what we have. I mean, you know what they're called.
I'm in charge of all the social medias. Most of the things are just Haas Stories or Haas Stories officials, other variations. Just go to the website and absolutely everything is there.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah.
Haas Stories official. Was there already a Haas Stories unofficial? Is that why you had to add official in?
Just want to be official.
Girls, I have a quote for you, but before I give my quote, I like quotes. Is there a quote that you kind of wanted to share or that has become a mantra of yours?
This is a thing between Hallie and I. Pie. It's a piece of pie because
She can't spell.
I'm the worst speller in the world, and I'm an author. I don't know, but I never knew how to spell peace. I always got it mixed up. So
yeah, so I had to tell her. She always said that peace always reminds her of pie, and I'm like, that's because pie's in the word peace, and she's like, wait, what?
We have a video of that realization. It's crazy.
It's great.
So that's our new slogan.
You got to post it on TikTok there with your fans. Girls, I would offer to you, right? You've put yourselves out there. You've done it. I like the 5 SWs, right? And it kind of helps me keep going, right? And it's sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So what? Someone stick with it. Someone's waiting, right? The 5 SWs. And again, just going through the process. Not everyone's going to like your book. Not everyone's going to, not everything you do, you're going to be happy with. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So what? All right. So keep rolling with that. Congratulations. Girls, anything else before we end the program?
No, not really.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was my honor, and I was thrilled. I hope you enjoy the Halvesies cookies I'm going to send you. They did sponsor the program here, and there it is there. Murata15 is that discount code. So I'm going to send those to you. Hallie, I have your address, so make sure you text me Autumn's address.
Thank
you. We'll get that sent to her also. And if I could support you anyway with the book, let's do it. I know we talked about maybe doing a book signing together, and that might be fun.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that'd be great.
Cool. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Empire to Earth and Back. Check it out. Again, their website is there. If you do purchase it, give them a review on Amazon. Those reviews help. And again, the best way to get in touch with them is hotstoriesofficial.com. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. And girls, really proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. We are going to sign off here on Education, Leadership, Beyond, show number 203. superstar teenage guests here today, Autumn VanHorn and Hallie Balogh. Thank you, girls. If I could help you in any way, anybody, don't hesitate to reach out at Andrew Murata 21 on Twitter. Keep rolling, friends. Keep surviving and thriving.